Well, it doesn't matter what part of the country you're from, all Americans are feeling the impact of rising costs. But the root causes have politicians and experts in Washington at odds. WENY Washington correspondent Brendan Scanlon is live on Capitol Hill with more tonight. Brendan?
Hey there, Renata. Good evening. That's right. Well, this morning, Senator Bob Casey released a report which he says exposes corporate price gouging, or what he likes to call greedflation. We also spoke with some policy experts who say that too much government spending is to blame for rising prices.
Everywhere I go, it's probably the number one issue I hear about.
Pennsylvania Senator Bob Casey says food, gasoline, and utility bills are just a few things that have increased as profits for big corporations have skyrocketed. He calls it greedflation.
Meaning that major corporations are using inflation as a cover to jack up their prices that hit consumers really hard, especially families raising children.
According to Casey's report, greedflation cost the average Pennsylvania family an extra $3,000 in 2021 and more than $3,500 in 2022.
And we can't allow them to do this. We've got to take them on. We can't just throw up our hands and say, well, that's the nature of our system. This isn't capitalism. This is a perversion of capitalism.
Others say the government is to blame.
The government creates inflation when it spends too much and borrows too much, specifically when the borrowing is so great that the Federal Reserve needs to buy it, and by buying it, they expand the money supply.
Kurt Couchman with Americans for Prosperity says the answer is broad-based economic growth with less barriers and more competition.
We want to eliminate government-imposed barriers to competition so that if one company is doing something that just isn't right, then somebody else can come in and take market share from them by providing a better service at a more affordable cost.
Casey agrees competition is necessary, but he also believes in more disposable income for working families and holding big corporations accountable.
If that means an excess profits tax on oil companies, if that means extra pieces of legislation and policy to stop any kind of food manufacturer from jacking up their prices, we got to take those actions.
And Renata, one way that Senator Casey and Democrats want to put more money back into the pockets of working class families is with programs like the child tax credit. That program provided monthly payments to working class families to help pay for school supplies, child care, food, rent, and many other things. But of course, it all comes at a cost, and it's that spending and borrowing which some say put us in this situation in the first place. For now, reporting live on Capitol Hill for WENY News, I'm Brendan Scanlon. Renata, back to you.